Regardless of the political lens with which you watch these hearings, discussing sexual assault is difficult and taxing and painful, but it can help or even empower those affected by it. NBC7's Danny Freeman brings us that part of the story.
Yeah, Mark, for context, RAINN, the National Anti-Sexual Assault Network, told us their National Sexual Assault Hotline saw a 147% increase in calls today, as Dr. Ford testified before Congress.
My greatest fears have been realized, and the reality has been far worse than what I expected.
As Christine Blasey Ford recounted her story in front of Congress this morning, Colleen McBride was watching.
You're now under a microscope, and everyone is picking apart, your experience, their perception of you, whether you're truthful or credible.
The site was familiar, as McBride was sexually abused for years, beginning when she was just 15.
I didn't say anything for 8 years and then told a therapist.
But now, a therapist herself, McBride speaks out on the issue, empathizing with survivors who might have been triggered by the intense congressional hearings.
Every time someone speaks up, it shines a light on this epidemic.
About 1 in 3 women and nearly 1 in 6 men are victims of sexual violence in their lives, according to the CDC. Allison Johnson is a therapist and manager at the Center for Community Solutions and gives this advice to survivors who have been glued to the screen.
Feel empowered to change the channel, to not follow the case, to not click on every article and read all the information.
In the end, both Johnson and McBride are optimistic.
So while the Me Too movement has been tremendously triggering for folks, it also means that people are connecting with other survivors, they're seeking help, they're getting their stories heard if that's what's important to them.
We're talking about it. This is not a conversation that was happening, 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It's every day it's changing with every victim that comes forward, but collectively it's making an impact.
And we said it the last hour, but if you are a survivor of sexual assault or abuse or need help or advice, the Center for Community Solutions operates a county-wide hotline. The number at the bottom of your screen is 1-888-385-4657, and that line is open 24/7. Again, that's 888-385-4657. In studio, Danny Freeman, NBC7.
Thanks, Danny.